Sejam bem-vindos ao meu canal, eu sou o Sr. Billy, ou somente Billy. E hoje vou estar testando a demo do jogo Saint Kotar, The Yellow Mask. Um jogo de aventura, mistério e terror. Tem um pouco de quebra-cabeça, que são os puzzles. É um jogo de point and click. Significa que eu vou controlar tudo pelo mouse. Minhas ações afetam a história. Possui legenda em português. Tudo em português aqui. Muito bom isso. A desenvolvedora é a Headmarter Entertainment. Nesse jogo aqui eu vou controlar dois personagens, na verdade, Benedek e o Nikolay. Esse jogo se passa em Sveti Kotar, uma cidade rural na Croácia. Não sei se realmente existe essa cidade. E o objetivo do jogo é desvendar os acontecimentos ocultos na cidade, essa é Sveti Kotar, e o desaparecimento de uma mulher. Aqui na descrição do jogo informa que essa mulher é um parente desses dois caras ali. E bora lá. Não é bem uma demo, é o prólogo do jogo. Então provavelmente isso aqui vai dar mais do que uma hora. Mais do que 30 minutos, quer dizer.
I believe in God. God is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. What is this place? I have no memory of it. I feel guilty. I did something horrible, but I can't remember what it is. I can't remember my life at all. I need help and I must seek forgiveness.
Tá, usa o botão esquerdo do mouse para examinar, interagir, conversar, coletar e andar. Usa o botão direito do mouse para andar, examinar e andar. Consulte a ajuda, tá. Tudo pelo mouse, com point and click.
I can't. It's stuck. Someone's holding it from the inside.
Tá.
May I come in? All I seek is help and forgiveness. That voice. I recognize it.
Provavelmente vai dar mais do que 30 minutos, porque não é bem uma demo, é a prólogo do jogo. Então vai ser... talvez seja um pouco comprido e o jogo também tem bastante conversa. Não sei como é que vai ser o feedback dessa demo. Porque quando é muita conversa, a maioria não assiste muito. Mas vamos lá.
I think I've already visited it numerous times in the past, but I don't have any memory to support that thought.
Tá.
I have a strange feeling looking at these graves.
Por que tem essa sensação estranha?
The stones have no names or dates, just a cross.
Tá.
I have a strange feeling looking at for reasons
Vai me olhar lá dentro? Tudo despedaçado ali.
It's barely visible, but the altar seems unusual. It is adorned with strangely shaped sticks and, I think, yellow cloths.
Tá.
There's something about this church. I think I've already visited it numerous times in the past, but I don't have any memory to support that thought.
Tá. Vamos tentar abrir de novo.
It won't budge. Father, can you let me in? I know it's you. Here on the doorstep of the blessed house, I'm asking you, I'm begging.
You have not set your mind on the things of God, but on the things of men.
I know I did something horrible, I can feel it, but everything's so obscured, I have no memory of my deeds. I beg you, have mercy, let me pass. I need his help and absolution.
Tá fechando na minha cara. As pedras? Ou nos túmulos?
Petra Dohnany, 1943 to 1997.
Ah, apareceu os
Forgive
nomes.
me, Mother. I barely remember you.
A mãe dele, será? Tem outro ali, apareceu também. Ó.
It reads Joseph Dohnany, 1935
Pai
to
dele?
1909. The year of his death is missing. I can't remember what happened to you. Father, can you...
Your mind was infected by your corrupted soul. Shame on you, unrighteous creature.
Tá, minhas escolhas afetam a história, então. Minha mente pode estar vagando pelas sombras, mas minha alma ainda é pura. Me deixe falar com ele.
My mind may be roaming in the shadows, but my soul is still pure. Let me talk to him.
You don't have a soul anymore, son. Look inside. What do you see?
Culpa e pesar.
Guilt and sorrow.
If you had stayed true to the faith, nothing sinful would have ever happened.
I've never abandoned faith. The true faith... What is true faith? I know you taught me what it is, but I can't remember.
Não consigo lembrar de nada do passado.
I can't remember anything from the past.
A long time ago, you've made a fateful decision to abandon God. There shall be no grace for you.
I never abandoned God. Let me pass. Let me understand what...
Enough! No words will ever open that door again for you.
Tá bom?
It's a pity to what you've been reduced to, Benedek.
Benedek.
A corrupted soul is like a bottomless black pit. It nourishes a false faith. You have been eternally banished from
Caramba.
this house. But forgiveness is what he can give, even in the darkest of places. Accept your burden.
Que isso? Uma bíblia. Esse jogo envolve bastante religião.
I accept your Bible, Father. It is my burden now.
Now walk to the other side of the valley until you reach the place of torment and sorrow.
Tá bom?
That is my punishment? To dwell eternally in such a place?
You've already been punished. For your sins you have been cursed.
Que me amaldiçoou foi Deus que fez isso comigo?
Who cursed me? God did this to me?
Deeds cannot be undone, but can be forgiven.
Muito bom.
If you truly repent and want to be absolved in
Tá.
his eye, you must go and save your bloodline's last soul.
I don't understand. I'm the last of my bloodline. Everyone else is dead.
Fallacy! Now leave. Act before the time has passed.
Wait, I'm begging you.
Quais são meus pecados? E a última alma? Quais são meus pecados?
What are my sins? Father? Father! Answer me!
Será que isso aqui é um sonho?
Into your hands I commend my fate like I always did. I don't know who I am looking for, but I need to act quickly and find that poor soul before it's too late. For both of us.
Tá. Tá, isso aqui é o inventário.
A silent cathedral of tall trees. Its gaze gives me a crippling sense
Talvez
of
seja,
dread.
por isso que tá tudo assim. A tradução tá bem boa. Olha que massa, velho. Eita, pega.
The path to redemption
Caminho para a redenção.
or hell.
Ou o inferno, ô louco. Vamos para a redenção. Inferno não. Que isso?
The place? Not a single soul is alive here. I may be late. It's a rotting mass of scorched flesh and dried blood.
Credo.
I should stay away from that. It could be infectious. The scent so close to this strange altar is unbearable. All of these people scorched beyond recognition. It's impossible to... Hold on. They all have almost identical marks on their flesh.
Examinar as marcas com atenção.
So familiar. I must have seen them before.
Onde que tu viu?
I know. Seals of pledge, the devil's marks. These people pledged their obedience to the most evil of all. Poor, mindless beings. There's something on one of the cadaver's neck. A necklace, it seems.
Colar.
It's formed by several people crawling into each other. Its significance and use are beyond my comprehension.
Esse olho aqui tá me seguindo.
God, talk to me. Give me a sign. Where's my bloodline's last soul? Nothing but silence.
Tá. Tá, deixa eu pegar esse negócio aqui.
It's a rosary. Still
Ah, um
intact.
rosário.
Some initials are carved on the cross. B, D. B and D. I can't recall. I'm struggling, but there's something about it that...
Que isso, cara? A morte, ser desconhecida.
Who are you? What do you want?
Em nome de Deus, me responda ou desapareça.
In the name of God, answer me or be gone.
Victoria.
Show yourself.
É o nome?
Victoria? She had the rosary. My rosary. Those initials are mine. This is my sister. My bloodline's last soul. Dead. In front of my
Caramba, a
eyes.
animação tá bem boa, velho. Você matou minha irmã, demônio. Que Deus tenha piedade de mim e me salve.
God have mercy on me. Save me. I am late, but I need your help. I need to remember, and I need absolution for my sins.
Your sins. Your bloodline is cursed.
The fire.
O fogo, os gritos, o cheiro da carne queimada.
The fire, the screaming, the smell of burned flesh. I remember now. I executed them all. Torched them alive in the name of God for acts
Caramba.
of heresy. And I killed Victoria. The last of my bloodline, too. But I still can't remember. Nothing before or after this act. Nothing at all. It's like I'm seeing someone else's memory.
Você que significa tudo pra mim, Deus. Mas eu não mereço ajuda nem absolvição, pois matei minha própria irmã.
You mean everything to me, God. But I deserve no help and no absolution, for I have killed my own sister. My sins, my sins, my sins. Eternal torment and sorrow is all I want.
Pesado. Será que isso aqui é um inferno?
For there are sins that lead to hell.
Era um sonho, eu acho.
My eyes. I can't see. I can't see
Tudo
anything at all.
borrado.
My eyes are fine. It's just that I don't
Ah,
I don't have my glasses on. That dream, the church
é um
from my
sonho.
hometown, the graves of my parents, the crucified cadavers, and God in the form of an eye. It was the most terrible dream I've ever had. That wasn't me. That's not who I am, God. You know me.
Lembro de tudo sobre meu passado. Nunca pequei, nunca fui proibido de entrar em uma igreja.
I remember everything from my past. I've never sinned. I've never been forbidden to enter a church. I know what true faith is. I'm obedient only to you, God. It's what I want. It's how my father taught me to be. My father, who one day just disappeared from our lives, shattering my mother's will to live. My father, who gave me his Bible the day before he left our family.
Pegar a Bíblia e rezar. Que agonia, tudo borrado.
What? I can't find it. It's not in my jacket.
Não tá nem enxergando como é que tu vai pegar a Bíblia.
Where is it? It must be here somewhere. Something's on the floor. Glasses? Oh. I'm so distressed. How was I supposed to find anything without them? Victoria may have been
Que
killed by
massa.
my hand inside the nightmare, but she did something even more terrible to me outside of it. She dragged me to this town and made me stay in this living tomb of a house that tried to taint me while I was sleeping. No, it didn't try to taint me. It tried to curse me. Yes, to curse my soul. I was told in the nightmare that I was cursed. It must have been my mind which was trying to warn me I was being cursed by the house, or by the town as a whole. I don't know, both, I guess. I'm still in peril here. I should leave at once, but I can't. I can't leave without my Bible, and I can't leave alone. Not without my bloodline's last soul by my side.
Tá, tem que fazer alguma coisa. Acho que achar a Bíblia dele.
I don't understand the smaller ones. It's something abstract. But the lady, she has kind, dark eyes, and a grave face with long black hairs, and such a strange, sad smile.
Uma vara. What the fuck?
I don't need it.
Não sei, né? Vai. Ah, olha no casaco. Nossa, dá pra ver muita
It doesn't
coisa.
belong to any of us. But maybe. Nothing. Just a few very long and thick spikes.
Cravos, meu Deus.
Ah, my blanket.
Peguei meu cobertor. Peguei. Tem um botão que dá pra apertar que dá pra ver todos os lugares que dá pra me fazer alguma coisa. Por isso eu acho. Ser mais rápido. Ah, espaço. Pra me olhar muita coisa.
Tall, dark trees, a crossroad, and a lonely house. It's as bleak as it is in here. It depicts a pale, bald man with a very long white or even yellow beard. It's like staring into a starless sky, completely black, cold, silent. It's a bust of an unknown veiled person. Everything here feels so wrong.
Tá.
Nothing but an endless mass of trees and shrubs under a thick layer of dreary clouds.
Esse jogo de point and click tem um gráfico bem diferente. Dá pra ver que, tipo, só o que
Mother used to have a
esse
similar
movimento é só o personagem, que
I
todo o
can
resto
still hear
parece
the
só uma
sound in
foto.
my head. See the images of those
Mas é
beautiful childhood
bonito,
days
bem
in my
bonito.
mind.
Tá bem feito, bem construído. Bonecos.
It looks like a
Bizarro
miniature
isso
of a
aqui.
skull-headed humanoid tribe.
Tenta não usar aquele... É como se fosse uma dica, né?
It's an older man,
O botão ali pra aparecer as
something he
coisas.
has seen without being able to see. An elderly man with a strangely shaped face. Both of his eyes are gouged out. The area around the mouth looks particularly strange.
Que horror.
I can't see my Bible in these shadows. I just hope. Victoria must have taken it from me while I was asleep and then placed it somewhere upstairs. There was no other explanation, even though it is strange. She never did that.
Bim. Tá, tem um cara aqui.
Who's there? Victoria?
Não é, não é ela, é um cara, parece.
Nikolay? Where's my Bible?
I don't know. Why don't you ask her?
Pra
Where
quem?
is she?
Under the blanket. Come closer. Wake her up.
Tem nada ali, eu acho.
The bed's empty. Where is she?
What do you believe in, Benedek?
Você acredita?
Where's my sister? I need to see her. She took my Bible away from me.
Answer me first. Besides God, what do you believe in?
Acredito que a vida deve ser passada em solitude, onde questões como as suas não podem surgir.
I believe life should be spent in solitude where questions like yours cannot arise.
See, I believe life is pointless without a family. We don't exist if we don't belong to someone else except God. Family, Benedict. Without a family, life cannot exist.
Você tornou isso claro bastante quando abandonou o sacerdócio para se casar com a minha irmã.
You made that clear enough when you abandoned priesthood to marry my sister.
That was a sacrifice I believed had to be made. As of today, I'm not
Tá,
so
então ele
sure.
casou com a Victoria.
I'm not following.
Family members don't hurt each other. It's wrong. Don't you agree?
A Victoria feriu você? O que ela fez dessa vez?
Victoria hurt you? What did she do this time?
You did. You turned her against me.
What are you
Ixi.
talking about?
About the things you suggested to her yesterday on the train.
I beg your pardon? I didn't say a word to her, to you, to no one, as a matter of fact.
What about calling me an addict?
Viciado. Isso eu disse. Mas o que eu fiz demais. Não há colega contra você. Ela até o defendeu.
That I did say. But what have I done? I didn't turn her against you. She even defended you.
Of course she did. When she's the one who gave me the morphine months ago.
Nossa.
She did what?
She did what family's supposed to do. She helped her husband to alleviate his pain.
Caramba, será que ele queria se matar?
Now, it's your turn, Benedict. Will you help me?
Ajudaram com o quê? Eu só quero falar com ela.
Help you with what? I just want to talk to her.
I want that too. I want to talk to my wife.
So where is she? What's going on? I don't want to stay here anymore.
You think I'm a degenerate? Have I imagined hearing your voices downstairs?
Who? That was just me. She's not downstairs.
How many times I called your names before hearing that horrible scream of yours?
I screamed when I woke up from a terrible nightmare.
Well, I'm living the nightmare right now. Don't lie to me. I heard you talking after that scream.
I talked to God, and I talked to myself, and then I came here to talk to her.
Is that true? Because the real problem I have is that the two of you emptied my whole bag while I was asleep. Why? I don't care about all that stuff. Have it.
Que coisa.
You mentioned his bag. Where's mine? I didn't see it downstairs.
Just give me my my pills back. Make my pain go away.
Você acha que eu sou um ladrão? Vai em frente, pode me revisitar. Em vez de me acusar, talvez você devesse procurar de novo pela sua bolsa.
Instead of accusing me, perhaps you should search in that bag of yours again.
I did that, and I scoured the whole floor several times already, only to find nothing. Someone took my pills. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was her.
Você acha que eu sou um ladrão? Vai em frente, pode me revisitar.
You think I'm a thief? Go on then, search me.
I believe you can be anything you want, as long as it fits your vision of righteousness, Brother Benedek. But you're not stupid. You wouldn't risk being caught while carrying them around.
Que
It's
viagem.
time for me to start questioning my belonging to this family. I'm gonna go downstairs now. You stay here.
Why? I already told you she's not there.
Don't be anxious. If she is, I'll make her talk and give me my pills back. If she's not, I'll find them by myself. In any case, I'll call you once I'm done.
Tá bom?
Maybe they had a quarrel and she left before I woke up. I don't trust him. Whatever the truth is, I should take the chance and search for my Bible while he's not around. Remember what I asked you? Have you seen my Bible?
I don't understand. You want my help now? To be honest, I'm not sure I've seen it.
Tá, tem que achar essa Bíblia.
Definitely search the floor. People say I don't have a keen eye for details, so I might not have noticed it.
Tá.
So, obviously, your wife's not here, Nikolay. She must
Ah,
have
dá pra me
seen
controlar ele
that
também.
Benedek was holding you upstairs. And now you're supposed to go after her, right? Perhaps she has your pills. But if you've learned something in your marriage, it's that she always expects you to make the most obvious decision. Just look around the room first.
Ah, tá, nós olhamos pela Bíblia, né? Ah, dá pra me usar. Pera. Tá, ele tem uma chave lá embaixo. Vou dar uma olhada no que tem aqui. Ver se eu achar a Bíblia primeiro.
This makes me wonder. Are all the creations in this house a consequence of someone's imagination or experience?
Tem muita coisa
It's
pra
an
olhar.
unfinished painting of what looks to be like a mother and a child standing in shallow water.
Um livro aqui. Ah, é esse aqui?
The manuscript of Luca Tomini, Codex Niva, Goldin, Heart of Pagubitse? I've never heard of these works. Is that a giant heart?
Parece um vaso pra mim.
The painting is stained, but the sinister gaze
Dá
of
pra
the
acender
man
a luz,
is
tá
still clearly
escuro aqui.
noticeable.
Vou abrir a cortina, acho que dá.
Not ideal, but much better.
Ah, agora sim.
A yellow blanket, wrinkled only on one side of the bed, which means that either Victoria or Nikolay didn't sleep here.
Bolsa. Tem uma bolsa ali, velho. Meu Deus.
Telling me the truth? He did. It's completely empty. Why would Victoria take all of his belongings? It doesn't make any sense.
Looks like the owner has an alluring
Tem que
hobby.
procurar remédio com ele, eu acho. Com ele é remédio e com o cara é a Bíblia.
Except for the big ones at the back. Not counting the headless ones, of course. You should definitely take one of them for your private collection. Which one do you choose?
Com chifres. Como assim?
Bad choice. The image of the devil. The doll with horns. Fascinating. What do we have here? A small brown bag. And it's not just any bag. It's Benedek's bag. So you have to ask yourself why it was hidden here. What's inside?
Deixou a bolsa no chão. Vamos usar isso aqui em tudo.
I dare not to try this.
Ah, dá pra olhar nas coisas também.
I can't breathe.
Por quê?
It smells so sickening. Just old clothes,
Pô, velha.
and nothing but mold in them.
Tá, fecha então. Nossa, é uma pintura, velho.
It's a giant tree with dozens of
Bizarro.
corpses hanging from its branches, and skulls that feed its roots. The branches represent visual keychain holders, and there's a key hanging as a corpse on one of them. It's locked.
Tá trancada.
It's locked.
Tá.
Strange. These are not books, just blank covers with no names and no numbers.
Nossa.
My Bible doesn't seem to be among them.
Porcaria, onde é que tá essa Bíblia? A bolsa nós já olhamos.
Nothing in there. It's empty. Only one person slept in this bed last night.
Vamos descer então, vamos falar com o cara. Ele tinha uma chave, não tinha?
I haven't checked the whole floor yet. My Bible should be here somewhere.
Tá. Abre a porta, vamos ver o que tem aí dentro.
I'll have to find a key first.
Ah. Duas chaves, preciso.
A grieving man with a forehead full of horrible dark lesions.
Ah, não posso esquecer que dá pra mim
It reminds me of a man I haven't seen for
usar o esquema de dica aqui,
One
peraí.
day he just stopped attending our church.
Dá mais uma procurada. Tem que olhar bem, olha aqui tem uma bolsa bem aqui, ó.
I've never seen this woman, but I feel like I know her from somewhere. It's not a pleasant feeling, though. It's locked.
Tá. Opa, tinha alguma coisa aqui. Janela. Ah tá, tem uma janela aqui de frente, eu acho.
The vastness of the woods is terrifying.
Imagens.
Miniatures of strangely shaped
Miniatura.
white people.
Por que eu tenho esse cobertor aqui? Ah. Tá na cama, talvez.
God, this feels wrong.
Pra que esse cobertor? Será que eu me botar aqui dentro pra abafar essa caatinga?
Ugh.
Ah, espera.
If I didn't leave the monastery, thoughts like this would have never crossed my mind. That's a strange notion.
Ideia estranha. Pra que um cobertor?
It's not going to work. I struggle to find a reason to do that. It's locked.
Tá. O que eu tenho que fazer aqui? Minha nossa, chave. Ah, tem uma chave na... Nossa, nunca que eu ia achar. É do armário? Vou ter que usar, eu acho. É. Isso é bom. Pra tu não ficar o dia inteiro no jogo. É daqui?
Appalling. A heap of dead.
Um monte de sapos. Que nojo. Tinha um rato ali dentro. Que bizarro, velho.
Damned rats. It scurried into the... Victoria! Nikolay, what's happening? I'd better check.
Escutei um barulho aqui embaixo.
That window was right above the front door. Liar said he'd call me. Nikolay! Wait! I have to stop him.
Detê-lo do quê? O que aconteceu? Ele deixou uma bolsa aqui.
That's my bag. How did it get on the floor?
E se a Bíblia tá aí?
The inside is all wet, slimy. My rosary is here, and so is my pen. But everything else is gone. Nikolay must have known the whole time where my bag was. Which means he has my Bible as well. Or it's Victoria who has it. I didn't turn her against him. It was Nikolay who turned Victoria against me. Maybe it's all part of a wicked plot against me. All she had to do was drag me to this place and put me on the stage like a puppet. And now they are just pulling the strings. They make me sleep in this house. They take my Bible and hide my bag. She disappears, and now... And now he's doing the same. Nikolay is trying to disappear.
Tá. Vambora então. Quanto facinho por uma Bíblia? Eu te dou uma. Opa. Te dou uma, cara. Tem uma aqui. O que esse cara tá fazendo? Nossa, que bonito, cara. Nossa. Mesmo que seja de point and click. Tá.
Really? on the ground, between the leaves and behind the house. Stop this madness. Who's there?
Calm down.
Why are you doing this to me?
Benedict, listen to me.
No,
Anda.
I've listened to your lies in the house. Now you should listen to me.
All right. I'm all ears.
Pra mim é muito claro o que vocês dois estão fazendo. Já vem de longe. De meses antes dessa jornada maldita.
It's clear to me that what the two of you are doing goes way back, months before this damn journey.
What are you talking about?
Let me explain.
Onde está minha Bíblia? Como você descreve essa cidade? Diria que é uma joia escondida nas montanhas?
How would you describe this town? Would you say it's a hidden gem in the mountains?
Well, it is alluring.
Tá bonito isso aqui, meu Deus.
To whom? The gem in the mountains were her words. That's how Victoria tried to convince me to go on this journey with the two of you. And when I refused, what did she do? She went to my superior, Father Imre, and claimed Sveti Kotar is a work of God. She convinced him, so I had to go. But I never believed those words. And God knows I was right to do so. We all saw the truth the moment we arrived in this town.
Tá.
In the ritual on the square, I found it fascinating.
Onde está minha Bíblia?
Where's my Bible?
Again with this question? You must have lost it somewhere. But don't worry, you can probably get a new one in town.
I don't want a new one. I want exactly that Bible because it is mine. It was given to me by my father. And no one else except me is allowed to carry
Ah,
it.
agora
Just
entendi.
touch it. Not my sister, not you, not even Father Imre.
I know. Calm down. Victoria told me this a long time ago.
This journey, this house, the disappearances, it's all part of your wicked plot against me.
A plot against you. Can you hear yourself? I'm starting to believe Victoria was right to have doubts about your health.
E essa viagem toda é pra isso? Vocês querem me fazer parecer louco? Me colocar em uma instituição psiquiátrica?
So this is what this journey is all about. You want to make me
A Bíblia
look
veio do
crazy,
pai dele,
put
por
me
isso que
in
ele
a
quer a
mental
Bíblia dele.
institution.
Era do pai dele, né?
Calm down.
Wrong? You knew the whole time where my bag was. Did Victoria hide my Bible there and then you just grabbed it on your way out? I found something slimy in my bag. Did you drool while stealing my stuff? Or was it-
Babando.
Benedict.
And where is she? Is she hiding in the woods? Do you know? Of course you do. She must have told you that I cannot leave this town without her. So why is she hiding from me? Because she knows I can't leave without her, and this just prolongs the agony of being in this damned place. And that's exactly what's going on here. You want to torment me as long as you can. So what do you
Desembucha,
do
cara.
to be
Fala
sure I
alguma
won't
coisa.
leave on my own? You steal my documents from the bag. But you know, before we left, I made her swear on our parents' graves that she would have to take me back to Budapest immediately if I decided so. So no, I'm not crazy. Are the two of you done with me now? Does she need to desecrate our parents' remains?
You certainly made a point here. I wouldn't say you're crazy, but you got it all wrong.
Explica tudo então.
How about I tell you what really happened?
Demorou já. Para que eu acredite em você depois de tudo que aconteceu?
You expect me to believe you after everything that has happened?
We were robbed, Benedict. When I woke up, my first thought was that you and Victoria stole all my stuff, including my morphine. Then I went down and found your bag behind the dolls. Unlike my own, yours wasn't empty.
So I was right. Victoria put the Bible inside, and you...
No. The only things I found in there are a pen, a rosary, and this.
Isso são olhos humanos. Putz. Você que é louco aqui.
Are those human eyes? You're the one who's crazy here.
Meu Deus, que
They're
bizarro.
pig's eyes inside a pig's bowel.
Meu
Horrible, I
Deus.
agree, but that's why your bag
Nojo.
is so slimy.
This is insane. He's lying. and now that he's come closer, I can notice an unpleasant, musty smell on him.
I believe it's what the perpetrator left to mock us. After stealing our stuff, he obviously had a need to leave a mark of his
Tá.
death.
E quem seria supostamente esse criminoso?
And who's supposedly our perpetrator?
The owner of the tavern, of course.
Why would a man who waited a whole day just to give us the keys of the house do such a thing? And why would he take everything but my rosary and a pen?
I guess because it's the same man who left a dozen of pig's eyes in your bag.
I don't know where he got this bowel, but this story is ridiculous. So how do you explain Victoria's missing bag then? If that man robbed us without taking our bags, where is hers?
Maybe Victoria took it with her.
Notei que o cobertor da sua cama está amassado apenas de um lado.
I noticed that the blanket on your bed is wrinkled only on one side. Confess,
Detetive.
Victoria didn't sleep at all last night. She took her time to do everything you plotted together, and then she disappeared.
Nossa, tá.
With this crazy idea that this is all about you! I don't know where Victoria is. When I woke up, she wasn't there.
The smell on Nikolay, I just realized. It's the same odor of the wardrobe upstairs. These clothes he's wearing are not his. He must have taken them.
I'm going to get all of our stuff back. Don't worry. You just stay here and wait for Victoria.
What? Wait, no, you shouldn't. Is he going to meet her in town? Or perhaps she's hiding in the woods and waiting for me to leave. What should I do?
Eu escolher?
I have to move. I need my morphine. What do you want?
Vou com você. Vou esperar aqui. Ah, vou com ele.
I'm going with you.
Think about your sister. If you follow me, once she comes back, she'll find an empty house.
We can leave a note.
What about your Bible?
That's what I've been asking you from the moment you saw me today. Where is it?
So, you really don't have it. You're not as methodical as I thought you were.
O que você quer dizer? Pelo amor de Deus. Eu não estou com ela. Não, não estou com ela.
What are you trying to say?
Your Bible's in the cabinet upstairs. I didn't touch it. I swear.
Where? How would you know if you didn't put it there?
I was searching for my pills when I found it among that pile of frogs.
Ah, tá lá no
Why didn't you
meio.
tell me until now?
I thought you found it after I went downstairs. It's all right. Just go take it and then we can leave together.
You should have said something. If that is the truth, if it's really there, you desecrated it by leaving it among those carcasses. That pile is the only place I didn't search. I have to be sure he's not lying this time.
Benedek! Don't make me wait too long!
Tá. Vamos subir. Tá no meio daquelas paradas de sapo lá podre.
I've heard this dreaded sound too many times in my life.
Vixe, sai alguma coisa aqui.
Frogs and frogs and more. I didn't touch them before. How did they fall out? There's something buried beneath. It looks like it must be.
A Bíblia.
My Bible. This would never have happened if... Decided to come in? Nikolay?
Alguém entrou lá embaixo.
For God's sake, answer me! I must get out of here before it's too late. The door is locked.
Tem aquela chave ainda. Caneta. Uma hora só pra achar a Bíblia. Tá, não tem ninguém aqui. Vamos lá embora. Será que o Nikolay me esperou? Uma ova que me esperou.
What do you want? I don't know if that was Nikolay. It's so dark in there. Trying again to disappear? I cannot stay in this house. I have to go into town and try to find Victoria. Maybe that was her. Maybe it was Nikolay. Or maybe it was a stranger. God, I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but I have to leave.
O que ele tava mexendo aqui?
What was Nikolay doing here? Just leaves. Stirred, thrown aside, piled. My identity document. And Nikolay's too. Maybe he hid everything here.
Tá.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would he hide our documents here? Why his own?
Cada vez mais estranho.
I'd need a key to see what's hiding behind it.
É, não tenho a chave. Curiosidade. Tá, vambora. Não dá pra me correr. Dá pra ir pra lá. Dá pra ir pra cá. Dá pra ir pra cá também.
That was her in the house. Maybe I should just try to draw her out.
Era isso que eu tinha em mente quando... Era isso que você tinha em mente quando eu disse como chamou a viagem mesmo? Você se pergunta como nossos pais se sentiram agora.
Do you wonder how our parents feel now? True, Father always detested you, so I doubt he's surprised. But Mother, didn't she suffer enough in life? By doing this, you're torturing everyone, not just me.
Era isso que você tinha em mente quando eu disse como chamou essa viagem mesmo?
Is that what you had in mind when you said... What did you call this journey? Ah, yes, a gift for the soul and the mind. Now I understand what you meant. You want me to go insane, put me away in an institution for life. But why? Hiding in the shadows won't do any good for anyone. Come out and talk to me. Nothing. Just silence.
Tá, vamos pra cá primeiro. Uma casa aqui parece.
Someone just moved from that window. They might have seen who entered the house. Maybe they have some information about Victoria. I have to ask.
Alguém na janela e saiu quando ele olhou. Nossa. Anjo caído.
The owner doesn't seem to care.
Nem pra casa parece ligar muito. Vou endireitar.
I can't. It felt like my spine was going to burst out of my back.
Que árvore bizarra, velho. Olha isso.
A dead tree with an engraving.
Um entalhe. Vamos tentar ver se tem alguém.
you don't mind me trying to lift up your beautiful angel. It shouldn't be left neglected like that.
Bateu de novo, com licença.
Excuse me? We arrived last night. You probably heard us. A woman and I had a loud quarrel in front of the neighboring house. I'm looking for her.
Vivendo tão perto da floresta, imagino que a visite com frequência, não? Em algum momento depois que chegamos, talvez até durante a noite, ela deixou a casa.
At some point after we arrived, maybe even during the night, she left the house and hasn't returned. Have you seen that woman? Maybe she never left. I don't know.
Tá, vivendo pela floresta, imagino que visite.
Living so close, I suppose you visit the woods.
Tá, a pessoa que tá ali não mostra.
Is it safe? Did you see anyone going into the woods?
Não tá muito a fim de falar.
I didn't want to pester you. This was a mistake. I apologize. I should never...
Caraca. O que aconteceu? Bora daqui, louco.
And so I descended into the valley of the shadow of death, oblivious of what this decision meant. Meanwhile, Nikolay was already walking there.
Tá.
Huh. She was right. This town really is a hidden gem. One that should have been buried so deeply as to never been found.
Caramba.
Well, we're here now. So let's hear what our perpetrator has to say.
Uma hora já deu. Dá pra ir em muito lugar, tá? Vamos aqui primeiro. Vou fazer esse vídeo inteiro, não vou cortar não. Independente da quantidade de hora que ter. Cara, que lugar bonito, olha isso. É de point and click, mas é bem bonito, olha isso. Eivor.
Daver.
Hey, Nikolay. Welcome to my tavern.
A nice place you have here. Congratulations.
Eles conhecem, eu acho.
Told you. You should have come in last night.
Estou curioso. Você se considera um taxidermista? Que porra é essa?
I'm curious. Do you consider yourself a taxidermist?
A what?
Nem eu sei o que é isso.
Taxidermist. A person who preserves dead animals for the purpose of being put
Nojo.
on display.
Oh, no. It's because of that head over there. No. That's just an exception. I loved that pig.
So that one had the privilege of a quick death.
He died of natural causes. Why?
Do you
Ah, tá
remember
investigando.
telling me last night about your procedure? You vividly described the sounds, the scents, the images.
Now that you mention, I recall saying something, but it's what I do. Gotta feed the guests.
É justo. Como você se alimenta?
Fair enough. And How do you feed yourself?
With love from people of this friendly community. What do you think?
No nightly hunting activities?
Que risada engraçada.
Be our guest. Wait for the night and then go into the woods. Hear the silence and hunt the nothingness.
But you were taking a nap when I arrived, and you looked tired. Suppose you didn't get much sleep last night.
Wrong presumption, my friend.
Caramba, o Nikolay é um
The
detetive.
moment you left. You know, the wine we had and all. Why are you asking all these strange questions?
I'm just worried about you. Let me show you something. I think you'll find it interesting.
Ah, vai mostrar pra ele.
What's that?
I'm the one who should be confused here. Why the number 30? Does it have a special meaning? Those eyes are the only proof I have. You see, someone took everything we had and left 30 pig's eyes in one of our bags.
Unbelievable. How did this happen?
Você faz alguma ideia de quem esse cara possa ser?
Do you have any idea who our guy might be?
Oh, I don't. No, people around here are hungry, weak, misguided. It could be anyone. Even the priest. Especially the priest.
I think
Padre.
it could be someone who collects pig's eyes.
You think?
O covarde que fez isso aproveitou que era a noite.
The coward who did that took advantage of the night.
You don't say.
And he knew we were heavily dazed by the wine you gave us. Must have watched us the whole time on the square.
But your wife didn't drink at all. She said it tasted like human blood. She didn't see him?
I wasn't aware that she didn't drink the wine. Maybe she saw him. I don't know yet.
O procedimento que você escreveu a noite passada, não consigo tirá-lo da minha cabeça.
The procedure you described last night. I can't get it out of my head.
Which part exactly?
All of it. The agonizing shrieks, the scent of liquids, the images of piles of gouged eyes. How can you enjoy that?
What can I say? The more they suffer, the better the food.
Que horror, coitado.
Is that the reason? Why are you worried about me?
No, not really. What worries me is the peculiar coincidence that both the perpetrator and you knew about our impaired condition and the house we were staying. And you both have a very particular fixation for pig's eyes.
What are the odds?
Vamos parar de fingimento, amigo.
Let's stop pretending, friend.
About what?
Give me our stuff back, and I'll be out of your way.
Are you accusing me of something?
To be honest, I just need my pills. You can keep the rest. No one's gonna accuse you of anything.
And I need you to leave. Now.
Não sei minha morfina.
Not without my morphine.
What I really meant is that you should leave this town. It's not safe for the likes of you.
Are you threatening me?
Like our prophet always says, this town is hanging tightly on the edge of hell.
Can this
Caramba.
prophet of yours foresee what's gonna happen if you don't help me get my pills back?
I'll ask him. Moise, crawl your way out of the grave.
It's hanging loosely, not tightly. This town's hanging loosely on the edge of hell.
Help our friend get his stuff back. And don't mind him for having insulted you.
What?
You said I'm a taxidermist because of his crippled state and that he looks like a corpse put on display.
Risada desse
Not the
cara.
truth.
God has taken away many things, but hearing is not one of them. Talk to me. I can help you.
Tá.
So, how can you help me?
You first.
I don't understand. First me what?
What's so special about that morphine of yours?
Don't
Também
you
não
know
sei.
already? Aren't you a prophet?
I am. But I want to hear it from you. See if you deserve my help.
Ah, tem umas dor de cabeça. São como tempestades. Uma é morfina.
I have these
Muito
headaches.
pesado pra dor de
It's like
cabeça.
storms.
See, that's a lie.
I'm having one from the moment I woke up. It's unbearable. It's frightening. But I keep it to myself.
Still not the truth. But what I really asked is, why do you want exactly?
Não sei, vamos ver o que vai dar.
I'm not a local. Where would I find morphine in this, like you call it, place at the edge of hell?
Nikolay, what's so special about them? I want to know that.
Minha esposa me deu.
My wife gave them to me.
Ah, finally some truth.
And the pouch where they were placed in. I need both back.
What if she's the perpetrator? You said it yourself. You didn't know that she didn't drink the wine. Maybe you don't know.
No, that's not possible. She wouldn't... Are you going to help me or not?
Like I said, you first.
Eu já disse o que queria saber.
I already told you what you wanted to know.
That was nothing. First, you help me, and then I'll help you.
Então tá. Como eu faço isso?
How do I do that?
By doing something.
And then you'll help me by going against your friend here. That's unusual.
He's not my friend. I'm only here because I need to eat. And I never said he's your perpetrator. I just said I'll help you.
What do you want?
The truth about October 28th.
20 de outubro.
That was yesterday. Is this about my wife? Again?
No. It's about what this town did and is still doing. What did you see last night on the square?
Não sei. Me diga você, o que foi aquilo? Pessoas rezaram juntas, cantaram, tocaram seus sinos, então atearam fogo na esfinge. Na efígie.
They call it a celebration of life. I say it's a centuries-old celebration of lies. Go out and find out all you can about October 28th.
You want me to ask people what they know? Why, if all they know are lies?
Correct. You'll show me that lie, and then I'll tell you the truth. And only then I'll tell you what really happened last night.
Falei isso, não sai do lugar, não vou demorar. Ele não tem perna, o cara, eu acho. Pra quem devo perguntar? Por que você não me conta a verdade?
Why don't you tell me the truth?
You have to learn the lie first. Merit my help.
Tá? Pra quem devo
Who should I
perguntar?
ask?
Anyone. People around here know more about the town's past than their own present.
Não tem como sair, vou ter que falar essa coisa aqui.
I'll do it. Don't you move. It won't take me long.
Remember, the truth is always painful. Sometimes even horrible.
Olha, rapaz.
It's a waste of time talking to him.
Tá, então vambora então. Tá, vamos nessa casa aqui. Ah não, aqui, vamos aqui. Vai ser uma casinha isso aqui.
Hello, lady.
Ah, a vendedora.
Oh, hello there.
Não, a vendedora é bem esquisita.
Feel free to have a look around, and if you need anything, just ask.
Caramba, cada cenário desse jogo é uma obra de arte.
Miniatures of medieval torture chairs and church bells.
Esquisito, meu Deus.
Mountain animal figurines and dirty tankards.
Uma túnica aqui, velho.
Strangely eerie for a priest robe.
Que bizarro isso.
Fair imitations of medieval executioner masks.
Sveti Kotar ali, ó. Fala com ela.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Could you turn that off? I need to talk to you.
Acho que é o rádio, tá ligado?
Sure. Just a moment.
O que pode me dizer sobre o dia 28 de outubro?
What can you tell me about October 28?
Wait a minute. I know you. You were here last night.
Fui
You
descoberto.
dragged your sister away from me.
I didn't drag my wife away. I gently asked her to join our company.
Oh, it didn't look that way.
I don't want to sound rude, but can we please go back to my question?
Sure. How can I help?
Me fala sobre o 28 de outubro.
Tell me about October 28.
Oh, it's a graceful and dreadful day for the town. Certainly the most important one. The story goes way back to the Middle Ages. A time when the fate of Sauber was in the hands of a single man. Eventually, only centuries later, that man became the patron saint of this beautiful little gem.
Kotar.
That's
Ivan.
Kotar, the priest of the town back in the days.
Você mencionou a Idade Média. E um nome estranho. Qual era mesmo?
You mentioned the Middle Ages and a strange name. What was it again?
Sorry, but something's bothering me. You said you didn't drag your wife away.
I said that.
But I remember you pulling her violently to the side, and then making her drink wine from that lurid bottle.
Não foi isso que aconteceu ou ela não bebeu nada daquele vinho?
That's not what happened. And she didn't drink that wine at all.
You sure?
I am. She said it tasted like blood.
Maybe I got it all wrong. Or maybe she did something wrong, and you had all the right to act like that. But she looks so easy to scare. Weak and vulnerable. Like a butterfly.
She also tends to fly away from me when around people. It's not polite at all.
Bem, eu perguntei sobre aquele nome estranho.
Now, I asked you about that strange name.
Yes, Sauber. The old name of the town. Ancient. Some stories tell it predates even Christianity itself.
How's Sabor related to October 28?
Tá, me mandou ficar em silêncio. E um gesto.
That name was forbidden, and it still is. Forbidden by the same entity which, ironically enough, never recognized the new name. Oh, it's a long story.
Gostaria que você me contasse de forma concisa.
I'd appreciate if you could recount it concisely.
Let me just... You know, I apologize, but my
Manda aí, eu tenho bastante
back
tempo.
again. Where's Victoria now?
I don't know! Could you stop asking me stupid questions and just tell me what I need to know? Can you do that? What's wrong with you people? How should I know where she is?
Caramba.
Sorry, she's not with you, and I thought...
Just stop wandering anywhere with your thoughts. And be so kind to turn that thing dead this time. It's driving me crazy.
I thought it would make you feel positive, like it makes me.
Agora, por favor, me diga, moça. Posso ter exagerado, não ligue pra mim, tive uma noite
I may
estressante.
have overreacted. Don't mind me. It was a stressful night.
I've warned Victoria about that house. I suppose you couldn't get any sleep.
The opposite. I was trapped inside a dream.
Ele também?
You were about to tell me.
October 28th is the day when Ivan Kotar
Putz.
died.
Don't
Morreu
you
naquela
celebrate
casa.
life on that day?
The town glorifies the ending moment of Kotar's long sacrifice for our ancestors, and thus life for us all.
You sure there's truth in that? Seems like a strange ritual.
Personally, I'm not sure. I don't believe everything they say, except for the way Kotar died.
Agora você me deixou curioso como ele morreu.
You got my attention. How did he die?
Apologies, I don't know how this happened. It's turned off. He was beheaded by the Vatican's emissaries.
Nossa.
Why?
I guess that's what they did back then to heretics. I don't know.
Desliga isso aí, moça.
I'm not the right person to talk to about the past.
If you're not the right person, then I won't take any more of your time. Thank you. You've been more than helpful.
Tá, tem mais umas 500 casas.
Yes.
Por que você não liga o rádio novamente? Nada.
Why don't you turn that radio back on? Shouldn't have listened to me in the first place.
It's all right.
Vamos aqui. Só tem aqui.
Have no reasons to go in there.
Tá.
A priest with a dagger in his hand. The inscription says it's Ivan Kotar, the patron saint of the town.
Esse Ivan é o santo padroeiro da cidade.
1218. Everything that's left of that tall figure, the inhabitants set on fire last night. Have no time to wander aimlessly through empty spaces.
Tá, e onde é que nós temos que ir então?
Have no time to... Have no...
Dá pra me voltar aqui de onde eu vim.
Indistinct children's voices are coming from wherever this path leads to. Might go there later. Now, go talk to Moisa.
É um cara aqui, será?
Sculpted figures of priests. They all look like they're staring at you.
Bora ali dentro, deixa eu ver se é aquele cara que tá lá embaixo. Que tava sentado ali. É, esse aqui é o Moje. Tô descobrindo coisas sobre o 28 de outubro.
I've learned about October 28.
Descobri coisas.
What you had to do.
What do you want now?
Have patience. I've almost reached the light.
He must have left moments after I went into the house. And yes, he left. He lied again. But this rules him out. Someone else was inside the house. I'm not going back. Not before I'm convinced that was Victoria who disappeared into the woods. Maybe I should talk to the shopkeeper and ask if she saw her.
Tá, agora eu tô com o Benedek.
I'm not going through that door.
Tá, vamos aqui falar com a mulher então. Eles encheram a cara na noite. Por isso que eles dormiram um monte. Que bizarro isso aqui, velho.
Madam?
Oh, hello there. Please, take a... Do I know you?
Não sei. Nunca nos vimos antes.
We've never met before.
I feel like we did. You remember me. My name's Ida.
Ida.
No, madam, I've never been in this town before.
You all right?
How should I ask about Victoria?
Você vai ter que me desculpar. Onde estão todos?
Where is everyone?
Everyone who?
This square was brimming last night. Where's everyone today?
Sorry. You got me confused. I'm still convinced I've seen you before. But if I did, then... You know, that is a strange question you're asking because in this town, everyone knows where everyone else is.
Onde seria isso? E onde seria isso?
And where would that be?
In the church or behind their own walls and windows. You really are a stranger. Incredible. But at least you're here now. It's the outsiders that never visit us who are at a loss. Did you see the big fire last night? Oh, that's what I mean. Who could miss such a beauty?
Those people, their gazes and voices. Horrible.
And did you see the people? Everyone spoke and breathed as one spirit. It was... I simply adore the town's day. That's what you've been expecting to see again today, right? But I'm afraid it only happens once a year.
Actually, today I was hoping to find a woman, but since you're mentioning last night, let me just ask you first. Father Imre had no idea into what kind of place Victoria was about to take me. This could be my only chance before leaving to get some details about the town for him.
Tá.
So, I'm listening.
E essas máscaras que você tem aqui? Qual é o significado da túnica e dos sinos em volta da cintura? Putz, nenhuma pergunta faz sentido.
What's the meaning of the robe and the bells around its waist?
The inhabitants of this town regard themselves as Kotar's disciples. And so, they dress like the Seven Ones. You saw the grotesque summit building? It's them.
Ah, lá em cima.
Seven disciples of Ivan Kotar.
Tá. Mas por que estavam todos vestidos assim ontem à noite? O que isso significa?
But why was everyone dressed like that last night? What does it mean?
The appearance of the robe strikes fear into evil beings, while the noises of the bells tortures them. At least that's what they believe.
E essas máscaras que você tem aqui?
What about these masks you have here?
The executioner mask?
Máscara de carrasco.
What about them?
Last night, every single person was wearing one.
Oh, because they're mandatory. Every inhabitant gets one the day they are born.
Caramba, por quê?
Why?
Because there are still people who believe these masks repel, ward off evil beings from one's
Tá.
soul.
É uma forma de
One's
proteção.
allowed to take part in the ritual on the town's day without a mask and a robe.
Tá.
And no one's allowed not to take part because it glorifies the life of our patron saint.
Quem são esses seres malignos que você se refere?
Who are the evil beings you mentioned?
I don't know. I guess anyone can be evil, right? But if they're really among us, then they are in hiding.
Na noite anterior você foi a única. Na noite anterior você era a única pessoa na praça sem os ornamentos. Você não participou do ritual.
Last night, you were the only person on the square without the ornaments. You didn't participate in the ritual?
That's right. I never participate. It's too bizarre for me. Everyone respects that, so they allow me not to take part.
Você acredita que uma máscara pode protegê-la?
You believe a mask can protect you?
A mask and a strong faith in God. That's what people truly believe for centuries already. The things I said could sound strange. I guess even scary for a stranger. But
Com certeza é assustador.
I've never felt or seen anything but love in Sveti Kotar.
I don't believe you. I needed just one night to feel and see quite the opposite.
Wait a minute. How do you know I didn't wear any ornaments?
I saw you talking to a woman, the one I said I was looking for earlier.
All right. Can I help you with that?
Você viveu ela hoje?
Did you see her today?
Who is she? I talked to a lot of people yesterday, and many didn't show their faces.
Nossa.
She's scrawny, has short brown hair,
Magrelo, com
wears
cabelo
glasses,
castanho curto e
and she wore a
óculos.
coat.
So just like you, and not a local. Wait, you mean Victoria?
Caramba. Não sei, pode ser. Você a viu?
I don't know. It could be. Did you see her?
I did, yesterday. Why?
What about today? You sure she didn't pass by?
I don't know. You know, as soon as no one's around, I tend to get lost in this book of mine. Now, but wait a minute. If Victoria passed by, I'd know that, believe me. She would have said hi at least.
I have a feeling she's lying.
Será?
A good friend of mine.
Like
É
I
uma mulher doida.
A friend? They talked only for a half an hour last night.
Né?
Why are you looking for her?
Queria até falar com ela a noite passada, mas ela se perdeu na multidão.
I wanted to talk to her last night, but then she got lost in the crowd.
Oh, but I still don't understand. Why do you want to talk to her? Do you know her?
Maybe I do. I'm not sure. I need to.
Ué, tá ruim?
You should have someone take a look at you.
Só uma
I
tosse.
need to.
Ou não.
How do you breathe in this place?
Why?
I think it's the fog. It's like it's trying to grind my lungs to pieces.
That's horrible and strange. But I guess it's a good thing you're just visiting then. The fog never leaves this valley.
I was trying to say I need to find that woman and talk to her, and then I can leave this place forever.
It still bothers me. If you're just visiting, where have I seen you before?
Maybe I should ask for directions. If Victoria is somewhere around here, I don't know where to look for her.
Onde um forasteiro poderia ir nessa... Aonde um forasteiro poderia ir nessa cidade?
Where could a stranger possibly go in this town?
I thought you said you wanted to leave. Oh, sorry. You want to find Victoria? Well, I don't know. I guess you could. This is a small town, but very old, ancient. There are a lot of interesting places one might visit. If she's still here, and if she's sightseeing right now, then I don't know. It's hard to tell. Explore the town. Just stay away from the forest and the mountain.
Por quê?
Why?
For one thing, you won't find Victoria there, if she didn't ignore my advice. But also, listen. Can you guess what it is?
Zumbidos de insetos.
A hum of insects?
Nocturnal insects, yes. Oh, you're the first person to answer correctly.
Meu Deus, como assim?
How'd you know? Anyway, years back, after I started working in our little family shop, I heard this sound for the first time. And it never went away. It never stops, not for a moment, day or night. Not that I'm complaining, really. It helps me block the outside world and stay positive. But isn't it weird?
Não, é esquisito. O que tem a ver esse som? Por que deveríamos ficar longe da floresta e da montanha?
How's this sound related? Why should we stay away from the forest and the mountain?
There's a decree in force. It forbids anyone to visit the forest of Carcassonne or the mountain of Udev.
A decree?
The proof of faith. Every person, no matter whether being a local or a visitor, must abide by its words or suffer the consequences.
Caramba!
But if you ask me, I don't know the reason they're forbidden. Because I keep asking myself, if the forest is really dead, like they say it is, then where's the sound coming from? It's not a radio signal.
Você deve tê-lo gravado em uma fita, então.
You must have it recorded on tape then.
No, what? His radio doesn't even have a slot for that.
Then it's a radio signal. What else could it be?
Look behind you, in the far distance.
Why should I?
Just trying to explain.
Tá, vambora.
If you focus your sight well enough, there behind the clouds of fog, you'll see a massive rock. That rock is just part of the insurmountable wall that surrounds this town.
So you're trying to suggest it's not possible for the sound to be coming from a place beyond. I doubt that.
That's Udav, the mountain I mentioned before. It devours anything that tries to come our way. And this town doesn't have stations of any kind because we're stuck in the past. So it can't be a local radio signal either.
Nossa, agora eu confundi mais
I'm
ainda.
convinced the source of this sound is located somewhere deep inside the forest.
O que faz com que você ache isso?
What makes you think that?
I feel like I can trust you. You know, I often visit the forest to find these cheerful insects.
Eu não podia ir na floresta.
I haven't been able to locate any of them. And I haven't seen any animals there either. But if you ask me, Carcassonne is far from being dead. It's just a different kind of energy. That's all.
Tipo diferente de energia.
A different kind of energy?
I don't know. But I've been there and nothing bad happened to me. So how do you explain that?
Maybe
Não
it
sei,
did,
não
but
sei nem
she
como que eu tô
just doesn't
aqui.
know it yet. I should keep away from her. She's strange and didn't help me at all.
Senhora, eu tenho que ir
Madam,
agora.
I have to leave now.
Already?
I really have to go.
Wait, you didn't tell me your name. Maybe it'll help me remember where have I seen you.
Madam, who I am is irrelevant. I just want to be left alone. Excuse me. What should I do now? Maybe I should just follow Nikolay. Eventually he should lead me to Victoria.
Pra nós entrar aqui, será?
I'm not going inside that.
Tá, tem que ir ali então.
I'm not going through that door.
Vamos entrar por onde então? Pela janela?
Nikolay hasn't moved an inch. He's still standing in front of that handicapped man. Why is he doing that?
A shadow has appeared. Again.
Que sombra onde?
What shadow? Where?
A shape in the darkness.
An apparition?
A man. He's doing nothing. Just staring at me from above.
Then go for the light. Save yourself.
I'm close. The threshold is not that far away.
This is taking an eternity. You should find a way to push him out of there. Wherever he is. Let's try.
Cutucar. Murmurar orações.
Judica domine nocentes me expunia impionantes me. Confundantur et reverantur
É latim, Sole.
Evertantur et rossum et confundantur conitantes mihi mala. Viante tanquam pulvisante faciam venti, et annelos domini corantan zeos.
Não aconteceu nada. Vamos sair então. Deixa eu ver se dá.
After waiting for so long, not leaving without talking to Moisa.
Tá, vamos cutucar ele então.
Let's try. Moisa? Open your eyes. Talk to me. Like he's not even here.
Tá, fala com esse cara aí então.
It's a waste of time talking to him.
Tá.
They all portray the same person, with a distinctive small-sized head, hidden behind a thick layer of mist.
Tem uma chave que eu não sei pra que serve.
Given the situation, you might need it.
Who's the thief now? Leave it.
The only thing that makes this place look barely decent. It was poorly embalmed, as several parts have already started to decay.
Ah, coberta com o quê? Tijolos.
There are several slips of paper in the fissures between bricks. Let's read one. Voices are louder, shadows have forms. O God, have mercy on me, for I fear the thing that possesses me. Fascinating. Is this a wall of prayers?
Cutelo, tem um cutelo aqui, ó.
Right in front of his eyes. A set of butchering knives, poorly cleaned and partly rusted.
Quando eu pegar o lampião.
Strange lamp. It has an unusually long hook. Maybe it has something to do with the light Moisa's trying to reach. A woman's portrait? Hard to tell.
O que tem aqui?
It's a waste of time talking to him. It leads into a gloomy back room.
Tá aí agora, não tem mais nada pra me fazer.
Nothing worked. What about that light he mentioned? What could that possibly mean?
Uma fenda no chão, nossa.
It's barely noticeable, but a shiny object's in there.
Que é?
Don't know what it is. Can't reach it. Keep thinking, Nikolay. Keep thinking.
A chave?
Think clearly.
Tudo que tinha olhar já olhei. Ah, não, olhei isso aqui ainda.
A mock-up of a strange tree with red spiked leaves and upward
A mesma que a mulher tem lá fora.
What happened?
Acordemos, velho.
Right. What have you done?
Apague a vela. Peço desculpas, mas tinha que fazer algo pra você falar.
I apologize, but something had to be done to get you talking.
You monster!
Why? I just quenched a flame.
Actually, you just mangled a worm.
That wasn't a mere flame. And this is not just a lamp.
O que tem de tão especial nesse lampião?
What's so special about this lamp?
You people wouldn't believe what I've seen and felt in that damned place. But I must not forget. I have to go down there each day and relive everything all over again.
Aquela chama já estava se apagando. Pode um fim ao seu sofrimento. Ao seu
That
sofrimento.
flame was already dying out. I just put an end to its misery.
Misery. It didn't cease to shine since that fateful day. Not for a moment. And then you show up and decide it is time. That flame saved my life that day. And has kept my hope alive ever since.
Hey! You still there? I just remembered. Come here, quickly!
It is time for you to leave, Nikolay.
No. Let him stay. I want to keep my word.
You pathetic, crawling thing. What are you doing? He's part of the herd that left you rotting down there.
He needs to learn the truth. Mostly about himself.
Você não sabe nada sobre mim.
You don't know anything about me.
You're not a deacon. And you
Diácono.
really need your pills for the pain. You don't need them to actually curb the fear.
No, I don't. Now, tell me, what do you want from me?
You have to behead someone.
Tá ficando louco. Por que eu voltei pra cá?
What were you doing at that window?
Ah, tá, foi ela que chamou.
What?
You yelled you remembered. Do you remember that she was here today? Where did she go?
Oh no, it's not that. I've already told you. I haven't seen her. I'm sorry.
Tá me trollando, mulher.
No. I remember where the two of us met before.
Tem que ir, senhor.
I should leave, madam.
Wait. You said you've never been here before, I know. But you have. We've met in Carcassonne way too many times to make me forget your face and voice.
Como assim? Como eu disse, nunca estive nessa cidade antes.
Like I said, I've never been in this town before.
You did. You came to me in my dreams. The dreams I have always start the same way. I find myself in the woods, daring not to move. I've just seen something horrifying, but my mind refuses to tell me what it is. I tremble with fear and groan in despair. At this point, I either succeed to get out, or more often than not, I am staying trapped in the agony of my unconscious mind.
Caramba. Por que você está me contando isso?
Why are you telling me this?
I dread to dream. And it's been like that for
Por
years
isso que tu é
now.
louca.
But sometimes the agony is replaced by happiness. It happens when in the middle of the forest blackness, you appear, flying noisily towards me.
Meu Deus, que bizarro. Como um anjo voando.
As an angel?
A moth.
Mariposa.
What?
A strange moth, I'd say.
Uma mariposa curiosa.
Faces. The one on the back side of the head looks just like a human.
Meu Deus.
The moth is a symbol of wickedness. That couldn't be me. You're either lying or insane.
Oh, no. I didn't say.
I'm Brother Benedek.
I don't understand the meaning of the skull, but you are not an evil appearance in my dream. You're a good being.
I'm a servant of God, the Order of Saint Paul, the first hermit.
My fear and despair dissolve into joy and hope when you appear. You always help me get through the night.
Nossa, cada vez mais bizarro.
Here anymore.
Just a moment. Benedek? You said your name is Benedek.
Eu não disse meu nome.
I didn't say my name.
I heard it. You...
I don't have anything more to say to you.
You're Victoria's brother?
I am.
Why haven't you said so before?
Porque eu não conheço e não confio em você.
Because I don't know you and I don't trust you.
You know, now I might have an idea where your sister is.
Mas não é ela.
Lying to me the whole time? I knew it.
I didn't know who you were either, so I had to lie. I honestly haven't seen her today, but last night she seemed obsessed with the idea of going to the lake today.
Why would she do that? Mere sightseeing.
Which I found strange because she already knew there's nothing to see there. Maybe she just liked the view.
É, estranho. Como eu chego lá?
How do I get there?
Take a left from here, then just follow the path through the woods. It's a short walk.
Tá.
There's an old man selling fish. You can ask him if he saw her. His name's Arsen.
Arsen.
Since you're going to talk to him, could you do me a favor? To fetch something for me? Just tell him I sent you for Friday's meal. With everything going on yesterday, I completely forgot about it.
Why would I do that? Why didn't you go earlier today? Why don't you go now?
I can't leave the shop. I'm waiting for my father. He's gonna be here any time now.
Não prometo nada, senhora.
No promises, madam.
It's just one fish. And if you do this for me, I'll show you my gratitude by giving you a brochure of the town.
I don't need your gratitude. Like I mentioned before, as soon as I find Victoria, I'm gonna leave this place forever.
Não vai ser tão fácil.
The brochure contains a detailed map of the town and its surroundings. Trust me, you'll find it useful. You'll see.
Tá, dobrar à esquerda e seguir.
Should I go to the lake? I don't trust her. I could just wait for Nikolay to come out.
Ah, vambora.
Oh, and one last thing. How was your visit to the Grimolda Castle?
I've completely forgot about the exhibition.
Victoria bought 3 masks from me, you know?
Why?
Proteção.
Because she had to. No one's allowed to enter the castle without a mask.
I mean, why are you asking? We were dead tired and just didn't make it there.
So you don't even know what happened. Come closer.
Cada vez mais
Someone
estranho.
fell from the castle's roof into the nearby chasm.
Why are you telling me this?
I'm worried. I thought you were there. After this happened, no one was allowed to leave the castle for hours. It was a nightmare. People were shrieking and crying into the darkness of the halls and corridors.
I already told you we didn't make it there.
You know, there are places in this town you can't visit without a mask. Grimolda is one of them.
Não estou entendendo. Eu também não.
Follow.
It's one thing to visit and leave. It's another to stay trapped for hours in such a place. Then I thought...
What? You thought what?
You sure Victoria didn't go?
Honestly, I'm not sure. She did not. Why? We missed the exhibition. Fell asleep the moment we arrived at the house.
I think I saw her alone on the square later, after you left.
That's impossible. She didn't leave the house, and even if she did, that doesn't mean she went to the castle. Only one person had slept in that bed upstairs, and I don't think that was her.
Did she give you the mask she bought from me?
Não deu, mas isso... Não quer dizer que eu tenha ido visitar o castelo.
She didn't, but that doesn't mean she visited the castle.
You know, some witnesses saw the fall, but
She's around here somewhere, and she'll take me out of this town soon.
it was so dark they couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman who fell.
Meu Deus. Mas deve ter achado o corpo. Procuraram por ele.
They must have found the body. Did they search for it?
They only found parts, badly disfigured, unidentifiable.
So what are you telling me? Where do you think Victoria is?
They also found the head.
Nossa. Você não acabou de dizer que a pessoa estava irreconhecível.
Didn't you just say the person was unidentifiable?
The face is skinless. It was torn apart before the falls. They
Meu
don't know
Deus.
the identity yet.
Who would do such a horrible thing?
Someone inhuman. This was devil worship and witchcraft at work.
Witchcraft? How can you be so sure?
The authorities believe that person was a woman. A
Putz.
scrawny woman with short brown hair.
Wait, it's a woman? What are you trying to tell me here? Who is she?
And I'm sure it was devil worship and witchcraft because she wore a mask above her skinless face. But it wasn't an executioner's mask. No, it was the yellow mask.
A máscara amarela.
We believe in you. You've come this far, to the end of Saint Kotar, the Yellow Mask. But this is just a
Prologo
prologue
da
of
história.
the story we want to tell. The beginning of a long and dark journey of change, full of twists and fateful choices. For us, the storytellers that gifted you this free prologue, your support is crucial. Help us to tell the story of Saint Kotar. Support us on Kickstarter. We fear nothing, for you are with us.
Caramba, sensacional. Então essa mulher que desapareceu é a irmã dele. E o Yellow Mask significa algum culto. Show de bola. Nossa, essa demo deve ter dado quase aí 3 horas. Nossa, o jogo tá bem bom. É um jogo bem complexo, tem que entender bem. Ainda bem que tá em português, que deu pra ler tudo. Não sei se eu vou trazer pro canal, porque é um jogo... Eu não tenho o jogo, eu só tenho a demo. E é um jogo que tem que ler muito. Não tem dublagem em português, mas tradução em português já tá ótimo. E é isso aí. Tá muito bom. Eu achei bem legal a história. Bem diferente. O gráfico tá bem bonito, tá bem fluido. Show. Bom, esse foi o Saint Kotar, The Yellow Mask. É isso aí. Valeu e falou.